when last we left off. I don't remember what happened because it's been like 4 weeks. So last time we played, you guys had confronted the ghost from Alara's past as you were quite effectively hunted, corralled, and confronted by the Death Slad and the remnants of the Unseelie Court that Alara's family may have had some tussles with. After a run through the forest, a making of an unlikely ally in a dwarf hut, which you had seen, you guys had undertaken a battle against this creature, and as a result of it, after a pretty hard fought battle that was well fought, you guys were able to defeat the Slod, and with it see the remnants of its larger band scattered. And so you guys have, when we left off last, you guys were still in kind of the wilds of the Verdant Highlands, probably about half a day's travel away from making it back to Rivercrest. You had, just kind of to recap, you had received quite a bit of information from, hold on, gotta pull up the actual thing that we were talking about because I didn't add that to my DM notes. Milvia Shadowhorn had given you quite a bit of information, the least of which was that Ronald Thorne was actually, in secret, the speaker. And with that, you guys had learned that his overarching plan involved the assassination of Queen Isabella Thorne, as well as colluding with a variety of other organizations. The Ethereal Dominion, he was colluding with. The Azure Sovereignty as well as the Coral Enclave in order to not just carry out this assassination attempt, but through vast sums of money to achieve objectives as yet unknown. All of this is supposed to have taken place or will be taking place at a ball that was supposed to happen in about a week's time. You all have, kind of just as a reminder, since it's been a minute, you guys were sent on this quest specifically by Nazir, but you were kind of commissioned by the mayor of Rivercrest and the members of the Rivercrest Council, who sent you um, along with the Room Breakers to bring back to bring back this diplomat to seek justice. You let her go. That was the deal you cut. She has since parted ways, but did leave you with information about a large sum of money in Rivercrest that you guys could uncover. And with that, I will ask you, what would you like to do?
Have we long rested yet?
You guys can certainly long rest if you want to, if you want to spend a night.
Thank goodness.
Well, is that what we want to do?
I would say it's probably pushing you guys.
I'm gonna guess
The
yes.
combat happened in the afternoon. Like you guys had spent the morning kind of fleeing from these things. So I'd say it's probably mid to late afternoon at this point in time. So you guys certainly can bed down for a long rest. It would maybe let you get an early start in the morning if that's what you want to do. Okay. Go ahead and take a long rest.
Long rest taken.
And with that, you guys would awake, I would say, in the morning. You had a dwarf friend with you that would probably provide for you guys somewhat. Lakara was her name. She would give you guys a place to sleep in relative safety. I would say, just for the sake of expediency, we don't need to mess with watches or anything like that. You guys have scattered the enemies, and she lives in a defensible position. So
Are we
um,
level 8 or level 9?
you guys are level 9.
Mine did
This
not
many.
change.
Did you
Level
need to
yourself up.
change
You
it?
should have taken a level up.
I did.
Well,
Hang on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What was her name? The audio cut out.
Lakara. was the name of the dwarf female that you saw that you were staying with. So I would say long rest taken, uneventfully so. You guys awake. It's early morning. You're probably a half day's travel from Rivercrest. You now have 6 days until the ball takes place. The day is yours. What would you like to do?
Delara would like to talk to Lakara and ask her if she has a spare loot around.
I don't remember what voice she has, so this is the voice, which is really not different than any other time, but it's so no, not really. She's a rough and this is a rugged place, not really a place you'd find like that would be a luxury item out here in kind of the foothills. There's not in a place where there's not a ton of luxury, so she does not have a loot, but you're certainly you would feel confident that you could seek one in Rivercrest without too much issue. Okay, what do you want to do?
I'm sorry. How much HP were we supposed to go up by?
Roll 1d. I don't know what your hit die is. Hold on.
Because I went from 59 to 61, and I don't think it's supposed to be that low.
It's not. Yeah, you should be able to. Why can't I? Hold on.
I'm really sorry. I don't know why I didn't level up.
You're good.
So your minimum, you started at what, 59?
Mm-hmm.
You should go up to. Oh, you need to roll. So roll 1d. Oh, what's your hit die?
Is
it
it
D10 or
98?
is it a D10 or a D8?
D8.
So roll a D8 and add that and tell me what it is.
One.
Re-roll it. Ones are terrible.
6.
Okay. All right, I fixed your HP.
Did you fix it in the
Says-
app? Is that what you did?
You should just refresh your character. You should have 67.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. What would we like to do?
Should we try and find the rune breakers?
Bug right here.
So we need to make sure we talk to Cedric, see what he's thinking because we were tasked by him. Also, we need to try to fix the bug with Princess.
Yes. So I have the spell Sending, which means I can talk to anybody that I've ever met before that would recognize my voice. However, it does use a spell slot. So if every time I use it, it uses a spell slot. So if I'm going to do that, and it's a 3rd level, and I only have three 3rd level spell slots. So if we wanted to use that at all to contact somebody, we could. And that's anywhere, Amberfield, Ironhold, any of the places we've been.
If you were to contact Dakota, would you be able to contact others himself?
I don't know. I just know that the spell says that I can contact them and they can send a response back to me. So I don't know if that's a DM question or not.
So what was the question?
It was more of just a role play question, like the Lara asking if Coda would be able to then if he was contacted. Like asking if he had like spells that would allow him to do that too.
No. I think that would kind of go against like this. I would say no in this case, just because then it's like, hey, contact somebody so I can then you use all the NPC character spell slots. So to me that just feels a little bad. But and I don't know if he
Yeah.
would actually get I don't think he gets that spell because it's an arcane spell.
Okay.
So what are we doing?
Do we want to start to make our way
should
back
we
to
head
town?
back? I agree we should.
I need diamonds.
Diamonds.
Okay. All right.
My
You guys are
bad.
certainly welcome
And
to
Delara is paying.
Did you just
so
say?
you guys are making your way back to Rivercrest?
I only caught the end of that part.
I said I need diamonds and Delara is paying, and Princess called you Sugar Mama.
So you guys,
Okay.
I will say for expediency, we will kind of skip through a little bit of the travel. I'm not going to make you guys roll a bunch of stuff just because I think that's, you guys have had all the combat and stuff like that from the adventures with the slots. So I would say that easily enough, you guys are making your way back towards town. It's about a half day's travel. Are you guys moving quickly? Are you keeping an eye out for the room breakers? Are you guys what are you guys trying? Is there anything else you're trying to accomplish while you travel? You just kind of want to head closer to town.
I think it'd be
Okay,
a good idea to keep out eye for the rune breakers. So
Can you all
traveling
hear me?
with
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes,
Okay. Computer didn't work out.
got it.
Okay. I think
So
I might
travel.
have a plan. Sorry.
I was gonna say, go ahead.
I think I might be able to have a plan to possibly find the rune breakers. And you see Delara she kind of sits down, cross-legged on the ground, and she closes her eyes, and it looks as if she's trying to meditate. And Delara is going to cast Speak with Animals as a ritual.
Okay. Are you looking for what specific kind of animal are you looking for?
A squirrel or a bird or something that might have seen them somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's say, yeah, you're able to find a bird. Kind of, it's up to you. Looks at you kind of funny.
Have you seen a group of travelers pass through here besides us?
How does a bird sound?
Birds has a really deep voice.
Yeah, not really. I got like, what would they look like?
One would have a really stupid face, wearing a lot of armor. The other was a Fearbog, covered in a lot of fur. One was a tabaxi wearing robes. She had a spell book, if I remember. that ringing any bells?
Came through a few days ago, I'd say.
Which direction were they heading?
About the same direction you guys are. Towards Rivercrest.
Okay.
Probably
Well,
get the sense that it's got like they've got probably a day's travel on you, which makes sense. You guys were deterred after that combat for about a full day. So they're maybe a day ahead of you.
all right then. So, should we try and catch up to them to warn them about what might be happening in Rivercrest? We might have to handle it carefully.
You get the sense that if they were about a day, if they went through here about a day before you guys did, given it's about half a day's travel to Rivercrest, there's a solid chance they're already there if that's where they wanted to go.
Okay. So we should probably just head back to the city.
Yes.
Guys, I have so many 5th level spells that I should have texted you guys about way before this battle. I'm just now finding them.
We haven't had a battle yet. We still have 6 days to prepare for a battle.
Yeah,
This
but
is
we're
the
in
preparation.
gameplay now, and I feel like it would be inappropriate.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have leveled up sooner. I
Katie
thought I did
spends the
too.
whole
You're
time
muted.
reading her spell book.
Yeah, I thought you had leveled up.
I thought I did, and it didn't show up in my D&D Beyond, and I was like, guess I didn't level up. Okay. Do we think we could use an insect plague?
How?
I mean, are
Yeah,
they poisonous insects?
I mean, we always need a good plague. Always need a
they
good
cause
plague.
damage. I'm sure Kevin didn't realize that I had that spell because the look on his face went, what?
Whatever.
It's a plague of insects. I also have some spells too.
Princess.
So we're walking.
So if you guys want, we can
But
jump.
the thing is that they may not help us. That's what I was trying to say. Like, we can try to get as many allies as we want, but they're NPCs. They don't care about us. They're going to roll for it and decide whether or not they want to help.
Yes, but like I've said before, this situation is more than just us wanting revenge, wanting money. This is about the entire nation being possibly thrown into chaos if the queen was to be assassinated.
That's fine.
So if they have any loyalty to their home, then they may be willing to help us. That's just my thoughts. Thank you.
Curious question: what is Dalara's alignment?
It is neutral good. Okay. What is the DM's alignment is the better question.
Oh, definitely true neutral. 100%.
True neutral or chaotic evil?
True neutral.
Character that's died twice says otherwise.
True neutral. Arbiter of all things.
Correct.
Like I said, you guys get the sense, especially with kind of using that spell, like they're if they were traveling straight there, they're probably there. you guys did travel with them for a couple of days, and you know that the Runebreakers travel painfully slowly. Like as an adventuring party, you guys are like, holy cow! It was supposed to be like a day's walk to where this
It
person
was
was.
all the
It
note
took you like
taking.
yeah, it guys took you like 2.5 to get there. So, it's reasonable you guys would be there maybe about the same time, but it is likely that if they wanted to get there, they are arriving, you know.
So I guess then we should get a move on.
Well, it would go faster if you would get up off the ground and quit your spell casting.
Easily enough, you guys make it kind of to the outskirts of Rivercrest.
Cast fireball.
As you guys are approaching the city, I would ask, what are you wanting to do?
I imagine Delara would want to immediately go debrief with Nazia.
I
Um,
agree with meeting with Nazir first and then going from there.
I thought Noah was about to say, I agree, we need to.
okay, so if you guys want to go see Nazir,
Yes.
Yes.
easy enough. You guys make your way into the city, and as you kind of beeline for Nazir's house, his kind of mansion, really greets you at the door as she always has. So, not, wasn't expecting to see you. Nazir, they're back. Quickly, come in, come in. You got to tell
I'm
us.
moving. Camera's off.
You, Keith, you turned off your video, but you did not mute your microphone.
Oh,
So
my bad.
I'll help you. I can mute you. I fixed it. Um, easy enough. You guys make your way. You see Nazir in his study where he always is. You know, you see a variety of notes and documents as he kind of continues to pour over pages upon pages. Oh, baby.
Delara's just holding a child.
DM advantage for the baby. As you guys come in, Nazir looks at you and says, "Ah, you've returned. What news do you have?"
Well, there's news.
We tell him all the things.
And we
I died again.
montage. And in a montage, you guys tell him all the things.
Bunch of killjoys.
John is like, no, I wanna meticulously role play every aspect of this.
We don't have time, John.
So you guys do notice that as you recount the tale, he does smile a little bit at the Runebreaker's incompetence. You get the sense he knew it, he just chose not to tell you. Like he knew
a
that
jerk
they were,
move.
because if you recall, he told you, he's like, they have, contracted one of the most successful adventuring parties. Yeah, he just thought it was better you find out on your own.
Dirty rat.
You dirty rats, you.
You also notice that as you guys recount the information you got from Milvia, he sits almost unflinching as you reveal to him that Ronald Thorne, the member of the council, is in fact Fairland Bloodwolf, one of the old defenders of Rivercrest during the siege that happened during the Eldridge War. And as he takes in this information, you see him, once you're done, he kind of slowly shuffles some papers to one side. He seems to put some away, and he pulls out some other papers, and he says, Fairland, he's an elf. And Ronald, for all intents and purposes, appears human. I imagine it's possible through either magical or physical means for one who's committed enough to alter his appearance, but that makes him hundreds of years old at least since the Eldritch War. I've he starts shuffling through papers and looking. He says, what is his goal? What is his purpose?
He wants to bring down the monarchy, and that's pretty much it. Just complete destruction.
His goal is to assassinate the queen.
As I feared, there's more to this than what originally met the eye. It seems that the ball that is coming up, there was rumors swirling about a special guest, and it seems that the queen will make her appearance, maybe her last. What plan do we have? Have you presented yourself back to Meritura and to the council at this
I
point?
I feel that might not be the smartest option, but I'm not sure.
Were you seen returning to the city? Are you expected?
We thought to swing by here first and then make our way there second
Oh,
to get our story straight.
You would.
who was that?
It's
It's a
Rachel
ghost.
randomly on Katie's computer with a blurred background. No, the ghost of Miss Rachel. Roll for initiative.
It's a guest appearance.
Um.
Is that Coda on your shirt?
Yes. Um. Nazir says, "Well, we have, for the first time in this since we've met, we may actually have an advantage that we're a step ahead of the I guess we should call him by his name, Ronald. Assuming that nobody knows about the conversation that you had with Nilvia, we finally have the advantage of knowledge that he doesn't have. I think it's possibly best that you keep appearances up. And is Nilvia, is she alive or is she dead at this point?
It depends on your perspective of things.
She is.
She's dead.
It's like dead, or you made a deal with people to say she's dead.
We made a deal.
The second one.
For all intents and purposes.
Wait, I thought Nazir would be like the one guy that we came clean to say that we made a deal, and then he would tell us. Not he would
Alara
tell us,
doesn't
but
trust
we would-
anyone.
Okay.
Nazir says, "Well, everything I know about her says she's a crafty one. If she seeks to disappear, I'm sure that she will do a good job. I think it is best for you to get your story straight and present yourself to Meritura and the remainder of the council as quickly as possible. If it seems that it is possible the Runebreakers have returned just prior to you, I think it is best that you present yourself and do so, but don't show your hand. This is the first opportunity we've had. It gives us any advantage. We must keep it to ourselves and to only those we deem are trustworthy to know. Else I fear that if Ronald Thorne gains insight into what our plan is or what we know, everything may be unraveled." As Ashley messes with the Zoom filters.
Is that Foo's hat of disguise?
Evie, go lay down.
I
For
knew
5
him for
minutes.
3 minutes. The love of my life. He's available for you guys to talk to if you want, or what would you guys like?
Foo? Oh, Nazir.
Nazir. Who's back from the dead, guys?
Whoa.
Cambridge, give me my dice.
Nazir,
Playing
Sorry, I
with the
thought I was
settings
muted.
and play the D&D.
Lara would like to talk to Nazir. Okay. Uh, baby thing, sorry. Is everyone's sound off?
Oh, you're just talking to Nazir, so we're waiting for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. She started crying. Okay. She's okay. She just doesn't like me to stop moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Also mad that Katie took her dice back.
let me lay my phone down real quick. If anyone has anything else they need to say to Nazir, go for it.
Katie has something to say to the D&D group. Could you guys please read your text messages?
Yeah, don't mind me, just trying to play some D&D. Gotta read my text messages.
Yeah, totally fine.
I need help.
Dirty diaper.
Keith, did you change it?
I'm working on it.
Is it poopy?
I don't know yet. We're about to find out.
You better do it quick so she doesn't pee
We'll
everywhere.
find out together.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and have my dialogue with Nazir while changing a poopy diaper.
You'll
I think-
really confuse Ellie Belly.
Yep.
Whatever that first one is.
Constitution.
Yes,
You think that one?
I think
Oh,
that
no.
one, because we have flames covered. I don't really think we need a bunch of bugs. And so
Okay.
maybe a disease would be the best thing. Hey,
Ashley, your face says that you're thinking. Yeah.
Concentration. That means the spell can last up to 10 minutes.
No, I have to concentrate, which means I can't use another concentration spell.
Oh, well, yeah, that. But isn't the
Which-
same with contagion? Good
It's not a
grief.
concentration. It lasts up to 7 days. The only bad problem is it's a touch spell. But there's also multiple things that I can cause to happen to them. So that's the one I was thinking about doing. Because it's a con save for the person. Okay. Sorry. Just
okay,
had
so
to.
here of late, bad guys have had really high con saves, so that may be something to think about.
I know. Well, the flame strike one actually
Ooh.
deals 2 different things. It deals fire and radiant on a
Flame
failed
strike
save.
is a good spell.
But then it also, even if they are successful, they still take half damage. So either way, they're going to take damage from it. And that's a dex save.
Sorry, I forget I'm on microphone. So, is it okay for Delara to talk to Nazir now?
Yeah, go ahead.
You go.
So, I have learned something about you, Nazir.
Hmm.
I need you to be. Did you say something, Kevin? I need
No,
you
that
to
was
be honest.
Nazir.
Nazir, I need you to be honest with me.
Okay.
You are the one that took the fall for the murder of the king. Is that not correct?
Yes, is a it is correct, if not a simplification of what took place.
I am well aware that there is more to the story. I would like to give you the opportunity to tell me that yourself.
Well, my role, the past life, I was a member of the organization known as the Silver Shadows. Me with many other like-minded individuals were tasked to keep the kingdom safe, if by means that others may find unsavory or unconscionable, regardless of how necessary they were for the greater good.
A
And over
murder.
my, one might call it that, but in the line of ensuring that peace remained in the realm, yes, we did what had to be done. As a member of the Silver Shadows, I was often tasked with infiltrating organizations that sought to destabilize the realm, and in one such instance, discovered the plot that would have resulted in the death of the Valerian. And did my duty. I reported it to my superiors. I eliminated those that sought to do harm, and later discovered that trusted the wrong people. My superiors allowed the plot to continue for their own selfish gain, and as a result, King was killed, and the Silver Shadows were disbanded due to their failure and their perceived ineptitude, and as a result, I sought my own vengeance. Those that allowed such things to happen perished for me, and those that were of a like mind, and at the conclusion of it, I found myself emptier than I was at the start. I came to Rivercrest, sought to do some good in the world, but ended up simply retreating from it until, I suppose, I met you all. But Queen Isabella has made her stance extremely clear that as long as she is the queen, the Silver Shadows will never again reform, and maybe if we do our job well this time, that might change. Never left. Simply moved into different roles. Orin was a member of the one you know as Orin. He has many names. Is member of the Silver Shadows. Ancus Meluzan, the one you all met. Odd fellow that. He was a member of the Shadows, along with many others. We still seek to do good in the world where we can.
So in the Silver Shadows, by chance, do you happen to know a pretty top-notch healer? Or maybe someone of a extreme arcane history knowledge?
What seems to be the need?
Well, you don't know her, but our new companion here has this parasite, you might say.
He takes a look at your arm. He says, Tilly, come look. Tilly muscles up. She says, Let me see that. Grabs your arm. No bedside manner for Tilly. Just by the way, if you ever wondered, just zero whatsoever. Just she kind of like twists your arm a little bit. Like she looks at it. She says, "What did you say caused this?"
Some giant frog-looking thing.
From another
It was.
dimension? Maybe
I assume so. It was a large frog with these giant
It's a
nasty
slod.
claws.
It was
Is that
called a
what it
guess.
was?
A slod.
Lot.
It was
She says-
chasing us because of me.
He says, "Well, that seems like a lot to unpack. We'll hold off on that a little bit." She kind of pokes at it. It hurts. She's like, "Shh, quiet." She like pulls out like a little like listening thing and like puts it on your stomach. Listens. She says, "Oh dear. That's oh." She goes to a shelf, pulls out a book, looks at it. She says, "Oh dear. Oh my. Well, the good news is that you're not in any immediate danger. The bad news is this is beyond anything that I have seen and likely requires the assistance of some extremely strong or powerful magic users, far beyond anything that I've seen before. How familiar are you with how sloths reproduce?" Okay, probably best. Let's just say you have maybe a month, probably a little bit less. If untreated, you will, let's just say, not be as concerned about fashion or whatever you call fashion, because you're going to be one of them. This is, you have been infested with an egg. It would take a very powerful magic user to remove it.
Can we just cut the arm off?
Oh, I think the only individuals that I've heard of that are able to treat this specific illness, it's not a disease, it's a parasite. It's extremely hard to remove the parasite without damaging the host. I would say members of the circle might have the ability um to treat this, but it would have to be a very powerful member of the circle indeed. Do you know much about the circle? Why don't you roll a history check for me, princess? Let's see what happens.
First roll of the game.
You get advantage because you're ridiculous. So dumb. Um, Definitely do. Even though that's literally would be it's like, I rolled a 1 on my die, but I've got it's a 20. So the Circle is a organization of druids. It's actually a very powerful kind of sect of druids that their primary responsibility is to do druid things, mostly ensuring the balance of nature. There is it's the circle is kind of is kind of the ruling council of this organization. The circle is not like a nation per se. It's not like a kingdom. It's really truly just a organization of druids that are seeking to preserve balance life. Those that are familiar with Coda would be somewhat familiar with this. Coda was mentored by a member of the circle at some point. And I would say on a 30 because that's dumb. Um, you have heard rumors that members of the circle reside near where is my map? Why do I have 75 tabs open? Good Lord. Reside Okay. I would say even on any like over a 25, like you have heard rumors that the ephemeral forests, which kind of lie to the west of the Kingdom of Eldermyst, have currently attracted quite a bit of attention from members of the circle. Not the least because there seems to be something going on in the woods, and that's actually where Coda went. Was towards the ephemeral forest to try to find his master.
Can Coda help?
Okay.
I don't think Coda would be that that knowledgeable on disease. Like I think he, unless he learned something on his way out.
Just because you don't think Coda's smart doesn't mean he doesn't know.
John's like, no, don't ask Coda.
I
It's
didn't
such
say he
a
wasn't
change.
smart. I'm just saying I don't think he knows.
And you said his name right. You didn't say Cola. I'm very proud of you.
I'm not used to hearing Katie defending my characters anymore.
I do
Oh,
Coda.
she
I
likes
like
Cola the
Coda.
most.
Yeah, she likes Coda. She
Coda
hates
is my
all your
best
other
friend.
characters.
Delara, I hate her.
Why do you hate me?
You stole my
We're
name.
not hashing this out right now. We're talking
Your
to
name is
Nazir
not
and
Talara.
Tilly.
I don't even know if your real name is Ilara.
Noted. Tilly, when you're introduced as Princess, goes,
As a burn.
Takes 4d8 damage.
Tilly, as you're introduced as Princess, says, "Of course you are.
Hmm.
Lovely to meet you, darling. Um, I would suggest you get that looked at, or um, just don't be near me in 3 weeks' time. I think would be safe."
So, Tilly, question for you. Our companion has a pre-existing condition. Is it possible that something would fight the parasite, one disease killing another?
It's certainly possible. It's hard to say. What condition?
That's not for me to say.
Like like a condition or like a condition?
She's special. What do you say that?
She's special.
Does it? This is. I don't know how to say this nicely, darling. Like, we've all made mistakes. Like, is like what kind of condition is this? Like,
Princess, that's you.
so like above board, you're trying to growl because I mean above board, like you're lycanthrope, so you're trying to kind of like channel that a little bit. Okay. You can make a performance check to see how well you do it in your human form. I would give you advantage because I think as a lycanthrope, you can control your transformations. I would say you can maybe transform your vocal cords. I'd give you advantage.
Nat 1, and Tilly thinks she's flirting with her.
Okay. 19. Let's say so 19 plus performance. So okay. So yeah, I would say easily enough you're able to kind of let a kind of a pretty guttural growl out. Uncharacteristic of you and a creature, like princesses does not seem like, you know, like she'd be able to make that noise. And when you do, Tilly goes, "Oh, well that's lovely. Um, maybe do you channel do you also dabble in the blood magic, darling? There's no shame here. It's possible. It's hard to say. the parasite progresses differently for different individuals. She may have more time, but once one is infected, the only path is that the infection is cleansed and the parasite removed, or as a result, the host either transforms or dies in the process. It's yes,
A giant egg in your arm.
yes. As the infection progresses, you'll find yourself feeling weaker and weaker, and then eventually, you will start to lose control as your body slowly begins to change.
If we cut her arm off, will that make a difference?
While entertaining, the parasite is no longer in her arm. That's just the entry point. It has made its way into her chest. It's just you noticed that like when she was listening, she wasn't listening to your arm. She was listening to like, she put like a little horn up to like your chest at like stomach area and was listening, to kind of confirm that's what she thought it was. Oh, it's hard to say, but I would certainly seek treatment, and don't delay too long. Or if you choose to, just maybe don't be near me. Just travel. You guys actually traveled near it when you were heading to Luminera. So, I mean, you can make it in a few days if you wanted to. Above board would probably be after this campaign, this arc of the campaign wraps, but could be a potential next stop.
I have a question for Nazir.
Azir's just kind of been sitting there listening. He's available.
I have one for Tilly. Would this be considered a debilitating effect on Princess?
Yes, it would, but I think if you're looking at using Greater Restoration, it's not going to function in this.
I tried, Princess.
Good looking out. This is going to be
Nice try.
beyond what a Greater Restoration would be able to fix.
Well, I tried.
What? Hear me out. What if we kill Princess and then cast Revivify? Fair enough.
Is Tilly's like, it's an option. I don't think there's a lot of research around if it would be effective or not, but certainly be an interesting test.
You want to try, Princess? John has Fireball.
No.
I have a question for Nazir.
Okay.
I want to ask him if he's ever seen the type of magic that causes what's happening to my skin with the scars, and the deeper that they get, the more scales start to show.
He kind of looks. Tilly takes a peek. You get the sense Tilly knows a little bit more about like this kind of stuff, um, than he does, especially when it comes to kind of medical. Um, you're pretty safe to say that, you know, there's a lot more to Tilly that also than meets the eye. She looks at it and she says, um, yes, it's been a while, but yes, I think this is, you're from the Feywild, are you not?
Yes.
It's not uncommon that when bonds are made, that this could be a
It could be a what? I'm sorry, you broke up.
It could be a sometimes magic of the Fae is tricky. It's unpredictable, and those that come from the Feywild often can see such things. It's hard to define. Wild magic is at its nature chaotic.
Is it gonna keep getting worse?
Hard to say, I would think. There is it certainly can. I would say it's not likely to get better on its own. I think you're most likely to um at best suffer no consequences, but it certainly is hard to break.
Okay.
Any other questions for Tilly or Nazir? Or what would you guys like to do?
I would like to speak to Nazir if possible.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nazir, you mentioned my mentor, Kinal Crystallis. How did you know him?
Uh, he was member of similar organizations, and we often walked similar paths. Almost a professional courtesy, one might say, that when you interact with individuals of similar backgrounds, he was never a member of the Shadow, but we often found ourselves aligned in purpose. I think in his later years, I decided to take a retirement, a post with a upcoming noble family, something of a master of arms, so to speak, or um, hard to say. I hadn't conversed with him in years when I heard that he had passed.
He passed saving my life.
Sounds like him.
Did you know my family at all?
Knew of them. Staunch supporters of Eldermyst, believers in the good of the royal line and the importance of making unpopular decisions that were best for the people. They were an up and coming royal family that found themselves on the wrong side of some conflict. I believe you're familiar.
I am.
Noble in cause, and indeed their loss was indeed great.
It was. That's all I have.
And sing. All right, what do you guys want to do?
All right, group, I would like to get our story straight so we're not shooting from the hip as we're talking to the mayor. So it's we we've got her, we went back, we were ambushed, we broke away, her and her guards resisted, though we
died.
tried to subdue them, they all died.
Yep. Does Nazir have any dresses or things we could wear for the ball?
No, but arrangements could certainly be made.
I don't see Nazir wearing dresses.
I meant
Yeah.
like he has a lot of
So-
weird stuff in his house.
So interesting point. As of this moment, you guys do not have an invitation to the ball.
Oh,
Nazir kind of says that is an important challenge. it seems to me that invitations are being given by those in power, the rich, and it's a to do. The entire town is a buzz with this ball and celebration and the secret guest, some important figure that will grace the town of Rivercrest. It seems to be an elite group of individuals that will be joining. Very short list. I could certainly look into gaining invitations, but I'm not sure that Hamet, even one as myself, would rate that kind of favor.
What if we were getting lots of money and became wealthy?
How wealthy?
Milvia wealthy.
We haven't checked yet.
Good point. You have not checked yet. Nazir says, wealth would not be an issue for me, but it's mostly how many invitations wealth such as anyone's could acquire. Asking for 5, 6, 7 invitations even would, if nothing else, raise major red flags. We would need a good reason as to why I would bring.
What if you just did 2? Yeah, and we could do the thing where one stands on top of the other with a trench coat.
Stellar just face palms in the corner.
Certainly, but I may be able to acquire a small number of invitations, one for myself and Billy, and potentially 1 or 2 personal attendees.
Do you get to invite dates? I wasn't saying you.
I certainly secure a ticket. I think I could possibly secure a ticket for myself and for Billy and maybe 2 attendees. That seems reasonable for someone of my stature.
So that would be 4.
You guys would have access to 2 tickets.
Two.
He's taking
Two
Tilly.
of us.
But if your tickets with counted as a +1 is what I'm asking. Nazir
What
+1,
if-
Tilly +1, then 2 extra tickets.
We
Nazir
mug some
plus
minor
one.
nobility.
Nazir +1, and he could sneak in 2 attendees through the servants' entrance. So he may be able to secure. I mean, you guys had heard, and like when you guys had talked to Meritura about this person, you guys had learned like Nazir was a hermit. He's a little bit of an oddity, but like he lives in a mansion. You know, like he's like the weird hermit person that comes out every now and then. That's like people would let him come to the ball just to see if he's like, like a vampire or
Alive.
something. Yeah, it's like, are you alive? Like, are you a hunchback? Like, what has happened to you? Like, he never comes out. So he's pretty confident. Like I said, he can secure tickets for 2 individuals that would come in masquerading as his attendees. But he cannot promise anything beyond that because it would potentially raise suspicion, right? If you're trying to come in under the radar, like when you're like, I need 17 tickets to the ball, like that's gonna be like a no, and also why are you asking?
It
So
might be best if I didn't show my face until absolutely necessary.
what's wrong with your face?
Nothing. But
Have you seen it? It's furry.
Watch it,
Well,
pointy ears.
so what if we lifted some tickets in a little burglary?
Bogle, bird. Sorry.
Little
Hey,
sleight of hand
hey,
action.
little sleight of hand, Miss Rogue. Rogue needs the rogue.
Rogues can also just
Of course
sneak
you
into
do.
places.
You can certainly try. So, Princess, you would know like an event like this is sponsored by what's effectively the state, right? It's sponsored by the government, right? Like this is a ball that is being put on by the elite of Rivercrest or the other elite of Rivercrest, right? Like they're not inviting people from off the street. Like you have to be somebody or know somebody in order to get in. You would know that um, just kind of based off your background and experience, there's usually one person in charge of the guest list, and that's the person that you need to convince to either to add you onto the guest list. You're not sure who that person is, but you do know an event like this is going to be sponsored by it's going to be sponsored by the town. So you would have to find somebody that knows or talk to members of the government who may be able to point you in the right direction.
If we don't want to go as guest, what if we went as hired help? Because it may be easier to get a job than to get an invitation. Of course.
What are we doing?
That noble status is not as cracked up as it. Wait, never mind. I lost it. I was gonna say something.
All right, I gotta step away and Mickey Mouse. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So, John did request that you guys get your story straight. So, we'll let John come back.
I say everybody keeps their mouth shut but John. Also, I like how Ashley got to go into the bedroom to do her D&D and Noah is now with both children in the main part of the house.
With the hot kitchen and the oven, just so you all know. All right, like Ashley has the nice air conditioning vent. Ugh.
She's suffering. Can't you tell?
So, let's talk about. I lost my train of thought. What do you guys want to do?
Did we?
Oh, that was gonna be my
Ooh.
question. Did you guys? So you guys, Delara, didn't I make you roll for the slot? Didn't you try to skin the slot to turn it into some kind of armor? Okay.
I did.
He
Got
got enough for a bracer, I think, or a little bit, not a whole lot, you said.
Would that be enough for medium armor?
He said it wasn't enough for a lot of it was because you couldn't get
Yeah.
enough off.
I think yeah, I don't remember what it was. I would say you probably have enough of like to figure out, maybe a better part of a breastplate or main piece of armor. We'll see.
Okay. So, with that being said, I would like to take the piece of slod that I have and the purple material that we found in the warehouse. And I would like to go to Tilly and Nazia to see if they could somehow combine the armor and the material to make an armored ball gown.
I think you might want to talk to a smith or an armorer of sorts. Maybe a really crafty tailor.
Okay.
Yeah. There are places in Rivercrest that you guys could access. That's part of, you guys got 6 days, so there's some downtime activities that could happen there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But don't forget, we need to talk to the mayor before we go shopping. Our half truth.
Yeah, John's talking. Everyone else is being quiet.
John, what's your persuasion?
We voted while you were gone.
John's persuasion is he could keep a story straight.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
And
John's
and
natural
Alara
per-
gives him guidance before he speaks.
Plus one. You can't do guidance because it's a vocalized spell. It'd be kind of weird if, like, right before I told him something, you just
No. I can whisper it and pat you on the rear end or on the shoulder.
I do have a plus 12 persuasion.
Yes, but Delora tends to get people in fights and killed. And then you die, and then I have to rescue you again because you can't keep your mouth shut or your swords in your pockets.
How do you fit swords in your pockets?
The
Do you
daggers.
have infinity hole pockets or black
I'm not saying anything.
pockets of holding?
Yes, I understand that.
You guys can also, from a mechanical standpoint, someone can offer, if you have two people in the conversation, you either both roll or let one person roll with persuasion. But that does require two people. Like, if you're gonna be helping, you have to help with the story. You can't just be like, John does all the talking, then you let the person with the highest persuasion roll. You've got to, like, that character has to be involved. So just kind of above board as you guys plan how you want to do this.
So are you just rummaging through the mayor's desk while we're
That's
telling
not-
her?
That's not the best way.
I mean, she's the mayor. You assume she'd be invited to the ball. She's probably
I would not try to
uh,
steal her ticket.
heading it up.
She might
Seems a
have
safe-
extra tickets in her
Yeah.
office.
Princess, seems a safe assumption that if it's hosted by the government, members of the Rivercrest government, the council, and the mayor will
Could-
probably know who is managing the guest list.
Could we ask for tickets?
As a possible guard detail, that'd be
Yeah,
very convenient.
wouldn't it? I'm
Okay,
still not going to talk
I
to
thought Princess didn't want to get a job at the ball.
What
Nazir
makes
is going to
you
bring
get the invite?
Nazir is bringing attendings. Like, he's bringing servants.
You know, like, go get me a drink, fill my wine.
I will be a servant.
Can you part with your bright pink fluorescent robes?
That's
Look like a servant?
non-negotiable.
That's not negotiable. That was in the contract.
Yes. I did.
Princess, you
can't,
just
it's in
got
blood.
here. You don't even know Nazir.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time you're meeting Nazir.
Oh, by the way, my name is Nazir. Good to meet you, and I initially trust you implicitly and allow you to in all the information. Excellent.
I like how Nazir has not asked about food at all. Just yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Listen,
Well, I guess we told him in the story.
yeah,
You know,
you,
we just
you guys also
regurgitated.
spent the entirety of 14 seconds being like, hey, is food dead? And your entire reason was, hey, can we get his magic items in gold? Like, you guys kind of discarded Fu pretty quick. You
I think
know,
that's because the creator of food just walked over him.
it wasn't a strong mourning period for Fu.
He was the love of my life. Trips over his body, walking away.
There was nobody.
Oh yeah,
Dust floating away.
Nazir shed a single dragonborn tear.
what's the dragon?
Those gotta be valuable.
He did not. He did not shed a tear. He, yeah, he's pretty hardened. Like, people die on missions.
Would my tears be rainbow then?
So what are we doing?
Wait, what?
Okay. You guys are able to easily enough make your way towards the city center, and you find yourself to what's effectively the town hall. And as you approach, um, you notice it's a pretty normal day in the town of Rivercrest. You do kind of hear a lot of sidebar conversations related to this upcoming ball. Like as you're passing people, you hear people talking about, "Oh, I wonder who the guest is going to be," and just wild speculation of who this person may be, this guest of honor. And seasonally, you guys are kind of entering closer to a harvest festival. And so even those that may or may not be invited to the ball are looking forward to kind of the celebrations that approach this season. You do pass several individuals that are very much like, no, 100%. Talk 100% success. We'll talk our way in at the door. I've got this. You just follow my lead. It's gonna be great, and a lot of bravado with that. And as you guys enter into the town hall,
I have a
yeah.
question
Mhm.
for the group before we go in. How are we going to explain why Princess is with us and the rest of the guards
Our companion
did
departed.
not survive?
Princess chose sides correctly, and everyone else died. She was the lone survivor.
That okay.
She is our witness. She was not associated with our party, so obviously she doesn't have bonds that strong to us and is willing to tell the truth.
Don't say that. Once again,
Okay.
keep your mouth shut and let John talk.
Oh yeah, in walking, I would like to have hushed whispers with Delara to figure out what she's supposed to be saying in this upcoming conversation.
You guys can have conversations.
I will simply tell about how we came upon the caravan. They were not willing to give up Milvia, and a battle ensued. And then you can tell the rest.
And you jumped into the cabin full of people.
We'll probably leave that bit out.
You guys ready? All right. As you enter into the town hall, an attendant quickly kind of directs you towards the council chambers, which is where you were the first time. Right, it's kind of where you received this direction from Meritura and the members of the council. As you approach, you guys, hear the sounds of voices just kind of talking. As you get a lot closer, you do start to notice a very distinctive voice, even before you get to the door. And as the door is opened, you hear
Storm puppy.
kind of boisterous laughter as he says, "Ah, it was a grand adventure, I tell you. I wish you were there. It would have been an excellent addition to my book, but I imagine your adventuring days are far behind you." And he's talking to the turtle, who goes, "I'm not an adventurer." And
Took an arrow to the knee.
slaps him on the shell. He says, but where was I? Yes, ambushed by frogmen. I would tell you they hail from the plane of Celestia, and one of these divine beings that are certainly sent to stop our progress being as pure as we were, but easily dispatched in the process. Unfortunately, we did lose Milvia, and assuming that only the strongest would survive, the rest of the individuals you sent with us also perished. As he looks in the corner, he looks out of the corner of his eye,
Whoa,
he
that
sees me and says,
hurts.
perished and returned to us as well. Excellent. I was just recounting the council, or I was just revealing? I don't remember what the word is. I was telling the council about our
Recounting.
heroic deeds, the frogmen that we destroyed. I believe they're called frigs. Is what I think. Is that correct, Blossom? Is Flower Blossom Friggs? Is that correct? Friggs. Dispatched all of them ourselves. I'm sure that these others helped. As you
Laura,
Ah,
can I
mentioned,
use your
yes.
dagger?
I hand Elara my dagger and I say, "Ah, yes. That
as
was
you
a tough
enter.
battle. I'm sure that you brought some souvenirs. Would you like to show us?
Ah, unfortunately, the ones that we
Some like
dispatched.
this?" And I pull out of my pouch the skin.
Gross and bloody. Is it in your pouch or is it in the bag of holding? Point of clarification. Where is it?
Oh, I think it's in the
You're
bag of
muted.
holding.
You're muted, Kitty, and I heard you, but they couldn't hear you.
I hold open my bag of holding and say, "You mean like this?"
As you pull it out, he says, "Ah, excellent! You stored it for me. I knew I could count on you to return it. Yes, we did, of course, take a couple of souvenirs from the
The amount that I
various
hate this NPC is like through the roof.
Yes, absolutely.
my favorite NPC." And
I
he
will
turns and
end
he
him.
says, "But indeed, I must. I hesitate to report." And as he says that, Mertura looks to you all and says, "Ah, I'm glad that you also made it back. We were concerned. What's the stupid dude's name? Hold on. Strom was just regaling us with tales of heroics that are hard to believe. What could you
Very
tell us
hard.
about your adventures?"
Well, I'm sure he told about.
John, do you want to wait for Noah or do you want to jump in here? Oh, that's great.
You see
Noah
Alara
walks
kind of
away for
panic a
four
little bit as
seconds.
John just darts.
Yeah, Noah walks away for 4 seconds when the mayor's like, "Why don't you tell us?" And then Keith is like, "This is
Get your
my
butt down.
moment."
We have a wild child. That's all.
Okay.
Ah,
The mayor is basically is giving you guys an opportunity to speak, seeming slightly perturbed, a little bit annoyed by Strom. You're not sure how long he's been here, but the members of the council look somewhat tired. Seems like this has been going on. You do notice the members of the party, Nidalee, Tree Blossom, Ragrick, and Kettle, that are all kind of sitting off to the side, also looking pretty tired. But
Well, great members of the council. I'm not sure what our fearless leader of Runebreakers has told you, but when we found Milvia, we began to make our way back and was ambushed by these sloths. We sadly lost.
Friggs. Sorry, they're called Friggs. I do believe it's an easy mistake to make.
We sadly lost one of
you're
our
an easy mistake to make.
companions, and after
Alara said that under her breath.
finding that our newest companion or acquaintance was willing to join us to find Milvia where she went, Milvia and her other guards decided to resist and was not able to be detained after a fight broke out. Sadly, the only survivor was our latest friend, Princess. We trudged our way back here.
So Meritura looks at you and says, so Milvia is dead? How did that happen? Who resisted? I thought Strom was just telling us how she had agreed to return with you with her contingent of guards. What changed?
So in the midst of the ambush, her and her crew broke away. When we tried to track them down, we were ambushed sadly yet again. And in the midst of conflict, she was lost before her guards decided to
Our guards were confused and began attacking us as well, along with the Briggs.
I don't know if they were confused or traitors. I know that their captain, Princess, announced herself, and they continued to attack us. So I'm not sure if they took her for ransom
That is true.
or they. I don't know the reasoning behind it. It has been puzzling, but we did lose her in the fight, and the guards have died.
Ronald kind of looks towards Princess and he says, "You, Elizabeth, you were a member of the guard detail assigned to Milvia. Is these what they say true?" So how did Milvia perish? And why were you so unable to return her to see the people's justice?
She perished in my.
Who murdered her? The gods that she ran away with, presumably for ransom or some other such motives, decided to kill her, and then you dispatched them.
The guards.
We can roll that back a little bit. I think that's fair.
Can we roll it back because Ashley was supposed to keep her mouth shut?
A little bit of a so a little bit of a high stakes encounter. So let's so he Ronald is asking how Milvia perished. I will let someone jump in there.
She perished before I understood who we were being beset upon, and she died in the crossfire of a stray fireball.
It's true. I also died along with the stray fireball. But it's a good thing we're traveling with a very skilled cleric.
Seems that more care might be given to returning individuals who were requested alive. The moment Strom jumps in, he says, "I would absolutely agree. I knew from the start that they were not capable of being used, but I listened to the will of the council. You know how much of a believer I am in C. It is hard to say for sure what would be the result if you had just simply sent us and my being as capable as we are." And Meritura says, Fine. So it seems that Milvia has found the people's justice one way or another. It's hard to say what she What her motives may have been, I guess we will never know. And Ronald um, kind of echoes. He says, I suppose we shall not. I would invite somebody to make. You guys really haven't said a lot of things that were untrue. So I would invite somebody to make a persuasion check. Be more persuasion than
Would like
insight.
to make the persuade.
Persuasion than deception, and I would allow either between John, Delara, and Princess, I will allow either one person to roll with advantage or two people to roll. This would be persuasion, as you have not quite, like I said, you haven't told anything that's technically untrue that I caught. You guys were just leaving out some details.
Also-
I would vote Delara with advantage.
Also, while I'm rolling this, does anyone have the spell Zone of Truth? Because that would be a blast.
He does. That was part of your original plan with Milvia before you guys traded with her. Was to I think your guys' original plan was to take her to the magical
Okay.
fortress wand. So
I rolled a 17 on the die with advantage, so plus 12. So that'll be like a 39.
29. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
29.
Math.
You know math well.
Let me look at one thing real quick. I'm so sorry. What was your total?
17 on
29
the die
plus 12?
I think it's 12. Let me check
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah, double
How
check.
high is his perception that you have to
Plus
double check
12.
on a 29?
Persuasion is plus 12, so 29.
29. Shouldn't have let you double dip into Bard.
Haha, spoiler alert, guys. Yeah. Yes. 3 levels of Bard.
I did not know that was a secret thing. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I casted a spell anyway. I was. Lara's had some experiences that caused her to want to change some things. No.
By changes, do you mean dying 3 times or twice or?
Yeah, that, John. Yeah, that kind of. Also, my passive insight is 19. So,
Delara just wants to be better than Alara in something.
I would just like to know how our deception has gone because the DM is sitting there quietly doing the thinking face.
You guys, a lot of the members of the council are kind of looking. A lot of the members of the council are looking, just start talking to themselves. You cannot handle that, Ashley. That is ridiculous. A lot of the members of the council are kind of sitting around, looking at processing the information as that kind of as it continues. You do notice Ronald is not saying much, but hard to say. With that, Meritura kind of says, well, regardless, your work in service of the city of Rivercrest is appreciated, and we certainly hope that in the future, if we decide to call upon you, you would make yourself available again. And Strom says, of course, any time this adventure shall play well in my upcoming book, The Heroics of Fall, Part 6. Get your autographed copy pre-ordered now. As the council begins to kind of, move into other business, as you guys kind of see the conversation starting to shift. Strom looks at you and says, what a what an odd request. That's not one of my books. Typically, it is. I know that some from lower social standing than others might not understand that it's customary to purchase a book of the author prior to having them signed and thus support them in various ways. But, you know, I suppose that supporting a fan is supporting a fan as he looks and kind of turns to a random page, definitely not the page you ask him to sign, and just kind of scribbles on it. Just, what an
I have
odd person. Excellent.
So what is Strom signing with? Is it did he call Blossom over to take her pill and quill?
You watch him like hold a hand out, and Tree Blossom like stands up, pulls out a quill and an inkwell from a side pouch, shaves the quill, dips it in, hands it to him. He signs, throws it back to Tree Blossom. Tree Blossom kind of sighs, this tabaxi mage, and slowly goes back to sit down.
That poor
So-
Blossom.
Are we done with this interaction, or that wasn't Dolores saying that? Sometimes I just can't turn off the voice.
I think we need to talk to the mayor to see about fulfillment of contract, or rather, I guess the failure of the fulfillment of the contract and the tickets.
Okay.
I missed it. What was the verdict?
We haven't said anything.
Good idea, bad idea? So who wants to talk to the mayor this time?
Everyone's afraid of social interactions.
That's why we play D&D.
See, here's the problem. I'm not charismatic enough to play someone with a plus 12 to persuasion or anything like that. So, yeah. So,
Delara, are you going to ask, or do you want someone else to?
so I'll ask. So basically, Delara goes and asks about the tickets and everything, all that we need right now.
Yeah, as you come up, the mayor, it's kind of just going back to business. You see kind of the council, breaking up the sidebar conversation. She says, "Oh, the ball. One of my attendants can help you with that. Go seek out what's his name. Of course, you guys are gonna ask these things, and I should know this information." She says, uh, "Go look for uh um." Egan, Egan Deepstrider. He's one of the individuals in charge of the festivities. I'm sure he can answer any questions you might have as she kind of returns to her conversation.
Okay, Mr. DM, question, sir. So did the contract or the warrant stipulate that it had to be alive or preferred alive, but by any means necessary kind of thing?
So you guys were tasked. You weren't necessarily contracted. Like they weren't paying you. Like you were doing it as a service to the city. So you guys did it because Nazir said you guys needed to.
Right. I was just trying to see if we could help use the recent service to the city to try and get favor in with those tickets, but we're being deferred to her assistant.
Yeah. Egan Deepstrider is the assistant that would potentially be able to help you.
Got it. Okay, thank you. All right. Where do we find Egan? Egan.
you guys ask around and easily enough are able to find him. Alara, you would notice anybody here have a passive perception above 15? Okay. Princess
Let
and
me see.
I thought Princess did.
I have a 15.
Princess and Alara, you guys would notice that as the question about the ball comes up, Ronald is listening. And I would say, it was one of those. He was always very interested, but as Delara, I mean, very tactfully ask a question about the ball. I would say with your kind of natural persuasion, he was interested.
Are we on the other side of the room? So would he have to follow us and make a point of listening, or are we near him? In the fence.
Meritura is talking to Ronald and a couple other members of the council. Like it's you're kind of in a council chamber. There's like the formal seating where the council would sit for a council meeting, and you guys are kind of in there as well. They've kind of descended into sidebar conversations. He was close-ish, right? It's like a meeting where a bunch of people are talking. It's easy enough to overhear. But
Is
you guys,
Ronald, is he a humanoid?
yeah, I mean, you're welcome to make a perception check.
Uh, yeah, I want to. Is that D20?
You can use your D&D Beyond app and just hit perception.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Or you roll your d20 and add your perception modifier.
So I can just hit perception.
Yeah. Should be able to in the skills page.
Mm.
If you look in that and you go to your ability saves and defense, I'm sorry, if you go to your skills tab
Yeah,
and you just click on the one that says perception, you click on the +8, it will roll a die for you.
I'm totally missing it. It's fine. I'll just roll it a D20 and then add what?
Add 8.
So 15 plus 8.
23. Yeah, you have enough time in this meeting to very casually kind of examine him from a distance. Normal features that you would expect to see on a human are certainly present, right? There's not the natural pointed ears that that elves and half elves have. And as you're looking, you spent a lot of time, Alara, growing up. You grew up in a society of elves. There are certain aspects of just kind of elven appearance that is somewhat characteristic. So, specifically when you think about like how the bone structure of the face, that there's, sometimes higher cheekbones, that there are certain aspects that when you look at it, it's like, I mean, it looks human, but you're like, it's a little odd on 23.
Okay. Princess, can above board, do you speak Draconic?
I speak
So-
Draconic.
Who does?
I do.
Yeah, but you didn't notice
Ah,
what Princess and I did. So I whisper to Princess in Elvish. Did you see him watching us?
Do you think the elf would speak Elvish?
So that's what I want to see. Do I notice him watching? Is there a way for me to tell if he understood what we said?
An insight check.
I would like to make an insight check.
You can do that. You just need to roll a d20, and then your insight modifier, I just had you pulled up, is +8 because you're ridiculous.
8 + 4.
Hard to say. I mean, there's a
course.
lot of conversations. Ronald is, generally, it's a room full of people talking, right? People are listening to all kinds of things. Hard to say what one person is listening to.
Oh, I figured out how to roll it in the thing. Now I understand. Okay. Well, that one was a lot better. It was a 23.
Ronald, as in the speaker or the guy, the elf?
Same person.
Hey. Oh, oh,
Hey, John, they just figured that out.
oh. I don't think there's a way you can not be weird about that.
Yeah. He does not respond. If you are specifically watching, I'll give you a chance to make an insight check against just to kind of see if you're able to notice anything as you walk up and in a not creepy way caress somebody's shoulder and then speak a random phrase in Elvish. Okay. One second. It's hard. I don't have dice to roll
Were you
here.
like performing?
I think you would have had. I think you would have had better luck if you told him someone behind him had a knife on him, and then he would have turned around and looked. But that's just me.
What was your total? 12? 16? You watch. It's pretty hard to say. Um, as you walk up and touch his arm, he certainly looks surprised, but that's not weird. And as you speak to him, he kind of looks at you funny. There's not a very obvious reaction. Um, how does one tell if somebody understands the language? I would say
Yeah, like if they recognize what you're saying.
The lady at Walmart never understands me, but she's always in my way.
But
you
I
had
would feel I wonder though
and
if,
sorry,
if
Princess.
Princess would I wonder if she would catch those cues though, because she's not, sorry, no offense, you're not very like wise.
So what was your insight roll, Princess? I'm so sorry. 16 total. It is hard to say. On a 16, I mean, there may be some recognition there. He certainly doesn't respond, but you're not really sure. You guys do have knowledge that this individual named Ronald Thorne is in fact the speaker who is an elf in disguise. So like you know who this person is. So you're just trying to see if you can get him to slip up. Is that kind of the objective here? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to say. He kind of looks at you, and as you walk away, he kind of looks back and he says, talking to the person he's talking to, he's like, "What an odd group." As he kind of continues along with his conversation as they begin talking about, infrastructure and projects and things like that as they kind of continue on.
I
I
feel
would
like
say I would say on
so
16th Princess, it is hard to tell. You think there might be something there, but you're not sure.
I have a question for the group, but I don't know if it's. Can I just ask it?
You can do above board, that's fine.
Okay, so should we maybe set him up a little bit and say something in Elvish that we're planning? I don't know. Like, do you understand what does it make sense what I'm saying?
I don't think
So
he would be the only one to speak Elvish there at a government held uh council. I think Elvish is probably the language of higher sophistication, so I assume everyone, not everyone, but a large majority of people would hear you.
Okay.
I don't remember every race of everybody who's on the council because we've traded some members out. I would say I'm sure there is. I mean, between the council members and the attendees, you would probably see elves and half elves. They're not uncommon in the kingdom of Eldermist. You
Are
have
there
certainly met several elves, full-blooded elves,
are
as
there a lot of
part of the city.
dragonborns?
No, you don't see a lot of dragonborns. They're
So I
not as
looked to
common of a race.
Delara. I'm looking at Delara, but I have my eye kind of trained on Ronald, and I say in Draconic, what an interesting trip this has been. Do I notice Ronald looking as if he can hear and understand what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah, no, but you didn't notice him look like in other occasions. Like if someone's eavesdropping, they're not looking. Like I think what you guys are trying to do is you're trying to trip him up to try to like tip his hand, and I would say that like
He's been doing this for 200 years. He's got this down pat.
yeah,
All right,
I would say
I'll let it
yeah,
go.
if someone is eavesdropping, the goal is not to be noticed.
No, but you would almost see like their eye movement move towards you or something like that.
Say on the roll that happened for kind of what Princess was trying to do, that's probably the information that you guys would be able to walk away with. Like, because you can't, I don't just want people to set up scenario after scenario until you like roll good enough. It's like, finally got a natural 20. It's the 15th try. We were running
yeah.
out of languages. But yeah, like I said, I'd say from what Princess tried to set up, you're like, maybe. But so what are you doing?
Now, one thing, uh, does Delara notice that if he recognizes her at all, which she's got the mask, the hood, everything, trying to conceal her identity?
Why would she have that in court?
Well, she's a rogue. She keeps her mask all the time.
I don't know if security would let her through the doors, is what I'm saying.
Delara,
Well, they did, John.
so Delara, you came in the first time not covered up. So like Ronald knows your appearance and you did not notice anything. You have not noticed anything prior. So, there's no change in demeanor or appearance from your first meeting.
I would like to confirm with the ticket status with Ingram.
Okay.
Because I don't remember where that went.
Yeah, you
I
guys
was
it
just
hasn't
trying to
gone
move
anywhere.
the story along.
You guys have decided to do other things. Yeah, easy enough. You guys are able to kind of find your way. You ask around, you ask for Ingram. A few people tell you that they're not sure, or someone points you to something that's clearly like a broom closet. Eventually, you're able to find Egan, and you see a halfling male that is, really very like he standing in the middle of this room, kind of in a bustle of activity. You see kind of a small table that has become this individual's kind of desk or workspace that is just covered with papers. Like there's papers upon papers. They're currently working through various, stacks of paper, sorting through, finding something, handing it to somebody else, giving orders to another individual. Just a fluster of activity around this person. And as you approach, he does not take any notice of your presence whatsoever.
Excuse me, Mr. Ingram, is it? Whatever his name was.
Egan.
Frank
Egan.
Egan, yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Egan is it?
Egan kind of looks up from where he's at. He says, "Ah, yes. Are you the florist?"
No, actually, we are acquaintance
I
of
was expecting.
Mayor.
He immediately he turns, says, "I need you to find the florist. They were supposed to come by with the sample arrangements. They have not yet." He looks to somebody else. Just kind of continues in conversation around, completely ignoring you.
So, a little bit more of tone of presence and voice with the mayor told us that you would help arrange with tickets to this ball, if at all possible.
It's back to you. He says, I'm sorry, who? What? Who are you?"
Simple what is the word? We are at the mayor's disposal of help at any given time. I am John Brook, and these are my companions. We were told you were the man to talk to about tickets for the ball.
Aren't we all at the mayor's disposal at any time? Sorry, guest list is full. I can certainly add you to a waiting list if you desire. Unfortunately, I can't help you beyond that. He says, "Has anybody seen the florist?" Kind of continuing on.
Well, I'm fresh out, guys.
I feel like this is not something that's going to resolve itself right now. Side quest. We
I mean, you
find
guys are
the
still-
florist.
Yeah, you guys are still in
We
the town
become
hall.
the florists.
Yeah, you guys are still in the town hall. You did not.
Totally.
Didn't see anybody who would, strike you as a florist.
I walk up and I say I'm the florist.
He looks at you, he says, "It's about time. You are nearly," he kind of looks at his wrist, realizes he's not wearing any kind of timekeeping device. Looks around,
Sundial.
he says, "I don't know how late you are, but you're certainly late. Did you bring the samples for the preview for the selection of the decorations of the ball?"
I left them in the wagon, but I did want to talk to you about not having my ticket for the ball. I lost it.
Help does not receive tickets. We've been over this. The ball list is full. What do you mean you left the arrangements in the wagon? You have a single job. Why am I forced to work with incompetence here? I need to make a selection, and I need to place the order for the balls of decorations. It
Well, I
must be
have
done
the
today.
colors with me. I have the colors with me. Would you like to see those?
The colors.
Yeah, of the flowers. I just left the flowers out in the wagon, but I have the colors with me.
I'm familiar with how a floral arrangement works.
Would you like to see the colors or not?
I suppose something is better than nothing. Just please be brief. We are already behind schedule.
I reach into my bag of holding and I pull out 10 stoppered bottles of colored liquid.
Okay.
What?
And I show them to him and I say, "These are the color choices that you have."
What type of arrangements can I expect these color choices to be in?
Large or small?
Deception check.
I have a question.
Advantage, because that's not how floral arrangements work.
Could I be of some assistance in this situation?
You've not contributed whatsoever. I'm
16.
sorry.
No, like, could I try something to help her?
Hold on, let's resolve this first. With disadvantage?
So I don't ever roll with disadvantage. So what does that mean?
No, roll it again and take the lowest. Your first roll was a 16, so roll again, and if you get lower than a 16, that's the number.
11.
Okay. He looks at them. He says, the color pattern is purple and yellow. I need arrangements that will sit upon 20 place settings, 15 columns. Do you need to be writing this down? I expect that you would write something down.
Oh, the fox is supposed to be taking notes.
He looks
I
to
come up.
you.
I come up beside Alara, and I use prestidigitation to make a non-magical trinket. Just I go and I shift between different arrangements of purple and yellow flowers. And I'm like, would you like this one? How does this one look? What about this one?
So that's a little bit out of what prestidigitation does. Do you have like minor illusion?
Uh, I have prestidigitation that says you can create a non-magical trinket or an illusory image that can fit in your hand that lasts
Okay.
until the end of your next turn. And it's a
Yeah,
cantrip.
I would say illusory image would be sufficient for that. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that's something that prestidigitation does. So,
Prestidigitation can do it. Wow.
yeah, again, so as you do that, so you're making kind of sample arrangements of flowers.
Some large and
And I'm
some
not
small.
like trying to deceive, like I'm not using magic, like I'm
Oh,
using it.
no, this is not deception. This is performance.
No.
I need a performance check to see how well you can create arrangements of flowers.
I smacked
will be-
Alara on the shoulder and I say, guidance.
You can
So
use for
that
this.
is that's going to be a plus 12 for performance.
And then a D4 to that.
Okay, so 18 plus a D4. Two, so that's a dirty 20.
Okay. I would say that's, you're making some arrangements, and as he sees them, he says, no, yes, make it adjust this piece and this piece and use that one for the centerpieces. That could be the column toppers, 20 centerpieces, 15 column toppers, 7 accent pieces that need to be placed strategically around the ballroom. I need 47 corsages. I really think someone should be writing this down. Is there nobody who can write?
Oh, yeah, that's his job.
And
And I point to John.
John's just going. John's writing.
He has
And
keen mind.
he continues to list off, which is really good because I was going to try to make you guys remember it, but since John has keen mind, you guys get to completely bypass that. As he
love
jots
this.
down and he looks and he says, that should be sufficient. Please make your invoice payable by the city of Rivercrest, and make sure that these are delivered no later than 4 p.m. on the night of the ball. Do you have that? 4 p.m. Not a moment's later.
Yes. Do you
Excellent.
have
And
a copy of the guest list?
Of course, I have a copy
why
of the
would the
guest
florist
list.
need that?
We need
It
to
is
make
not-
sure that the corsages are
That
the
they
proper
match
size
up.
for each guest.
You can leave now. Thank you so much. We'll see you at 4 p.m. for the flower delivery. And he kind of goes back to what he was doing.
I just have a question above board. DM, did you see that going there?
Nope. I mean, I did spend probably 45 minutes this afternoon brainstorming different floral arrangements that would be acceptable for the hypothetical ball, but glad that prep time wasn't wasted.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Well,
we have a way into the ball now.
Yeah, but we need flowers.
No later than 4 p.m.
Right.
I mean, we actually technically do have a way into the ball now.
You're welcome.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
that's what I
trying
was
to
going to
help
ask.
with that, Alara.
DM, I have fine clothes in my inventory. Does that mean it'll work for the ball, or do I need finer clothes?
I would say fine clothes are possible to work for this. That's something you guys can certainly, find a tailor or something. Interestingly enough, as you guys are beginning to leave the city hall, you do notice an individual making their way up the steps, followed by a train of kind of companions, all carrying various floral arrangements as they start to make their
John,
way
hand him
in.
the note.
I stop them and I say, your floral arrangements are no longer needed. They went a different route.
The person looks at you and you look, and there's a you look, it's a halfling female that's kind of standing there and very like um loudly dressed, I would say, lots of colors, as she looks and she says, "Excuse me? No longer need. I have an exclusive contract with the city. Who do you think you are, trying to butt in on my business?"
By the way, I really like your outfit. It matches mine a little bit.
Thank you. We're not friends here, you understand. Not
Right.
friends. Which
Well,
florist are you with?
let me talk. I have a list of everything that Egan needed, and I was going to share that with you so that you would be more prepared. He already looked at all of the flower arrangements and chose them.
I am her business partner, and we realized we are not prepared to be able to produce the order that he asked for. But we did not want to gain a reputation of being unprepared, so we went along with it, gathered the information, and we're willing to give you to you
Right.
to help you
As
along.
long as we can help you deliver those flowers on time tonight.
It's not tonight. It's
Yes, not tonight.
much later.
Not tonight.
You know what I meant.
6 days. 6 days. Um. Oh,
That's gonna be deception.
yeah. I mean, either Alara or Delara can roll deception for me. I'll give you a straight check. Because that's a somewhat plausible story.
What's your deception?
My deception is +6.
I'll let
Mine's
you guys
plus
determine that.
7.
I'll be right back. Sorry, I gotta run to the little DM's room.
Mine's
Okay.
+7.
Go for it. We need all the help we can get. Give yourself guidance.
I planned on it. I was smacking myself on the. What? Oh, he said I can't do guidance. It's in the moment. He heard me.
Princess already has a backup plan in case this whole adventuring thing doesn't work out.
Are you just
She's
looking up
gonna
things
go
on
into a flower
Google?
business. I like that last one, etc.
Blossom Bazaar. The baby just woke up and he just like crawled down off me and immediately went to start playing and was like, I'm done with you, Mom.
I'll be back also.
I've had mass chaos with these two, and I've been abandoned.
Yeah. Why is she isn't there like a computer set up in the living room?
No, it got moved to our bedroom.
Well,
And now they're trying to break in.
are they trying to get into you?
All right, what was the
You
deception
have
check?
the door locked.
I haven't rolled it yet because Keith
Okay.
went away too.
Okay, well, I need a deception check to see how this is gonna go. You might be starting a floral rivalry. Oh, good. I'm glad the time was used well. Don't worry, they're about to ask, so glad you guys have that sorted out.
That'd be a 19.
19 total? I would say on a 19, this halfling kind of looks at you, glares, and says, "We never requested an intermediary, nor do we require one to conduct our business. Our branding goes on all the flowers,
Yes,
and we
of
take an
course.
80% cut."
Absolutely.
What is the name of your florist? establishment. Up notch. You can't even fulfill a large order of flowers. Don't don't worry. The business alliance will hear of your underhanded tactics. I would imagine that you should expect some repercussions from your bold and
They were not they were not underhanded tactics. We were here for other business. We heard word of florists being needed, and we
We kind
decided,
of walked into it.
why not give it a shot? We will gladly back away.
90% of the profits go to us, and all branding is our own.
85%.
87.
86.5.
Done. 87 and a half. And don't worry, my yak review will reflect your
Yeah.
underhanded practices. She turns on her, she takes
This
the
is
order
bad
information from you, turns on her heel, and walks away. She says, you'll handle delivery.
Yep.
Princess, you need to.
Wait a second.
You may need to wait to find better moments to interject there. Lost us a whole 1.5%.
Yeah. Speaking
Still
of
says noble
numbers,
birth.
we should probably go and find Milvia's fortune so we can have it.
We're gonna have to spend it all on flowers.
No. They supply the flowers. We simply deliver the flowers.
Correct.
Oh,
And we get into the ball. You're
I
welcome.
mean, I helped a little bit with that.
So I would say you guys, if you guys are looking for kind of the dead drop, just for the sake of expediency, you guys navigate your way to an area of the docks district that, kind of the bad part of town. You guys find yourself to a looks to be some kind of abandoned house. Delara is easily enough able to pick the locks, and following the directions that was given by Milvia, you find yourself behind a wall that you could pry loose, find a large chest, and upon examining it, you guys are able to obtain. Let me make sure I don't lie to you about the number because I had you guys roll this.
Oh,
You did?
it was probably one of those rolls he didn't tell us what it was for.
Oh, I told you guys it was a bunch of d6s you guys rolled.
Ah.
You guys find a chest that contains a total of 20,000 gold pieces.
Whoa, that's a lot of
I'll
gold.
get 5,000.
Okay,
I did
think
math.
There's a cat somewhere coming. I already have the materials, so I don't have to spend it. You don't
I
live
got a kid
5
stuff.
years
I'll be
on the
right back.
streets.
Okay. I would say I know there's a lot of downtime activities to do. You guys are pushing, I'd say late in the afternoon.
I need to go get diamonds.
Easily enough done. It's how many gold pieces worth of diamonds are there for the spell components? 300? I would say
I
you're
will
probably
pay for one of them.
I would
3 of them.
I think
I-
at the so based off of supply, the gym store that you guys have
only
frequented
used
in a
one on
few
me.
different occasions is going to have enough for two, just 600 total gold pieces. And I would say you guys can place a kind of reserve on additional diamonds as kind of the shopkeeper's like, ah, so guys continue to have need for such valuable gems. You must be connoisseurs of your own, I suppose,
Something
working
like
on some
that.
Ah, yes.
projects.
So I'll buy one diamond then,
I'll buy the
even though
other.
I never use it on myself.
You can add, Katie, you can add two diamonds to your inventory and just whomever needs to mark off the 300 gold apiece, go ahead and do so.
I marked off 300 gold for one.
There was something else I was looking for, now I can't remember what it was. Give me a second.
Dress.
No, I have fine clothes.
Are they like fine clothes or fine clothes?
They are fine.
They're like fine
Fine.
clothing.
So I'm thinking about this. I think Katie, like, that's like really nice. Like, this is a little bit, I would say maybe a little bit different. Like, you're thinking about like um a like this is a really nice event, and depending on how you guys are planning to get in, there are some people that can get in with Nazir. There are some individuals who can potentially help with the flower delivery. You need to kind of be thinking about how that's going to be up to you. I would say if you're attending as an attendee, like this is not like, hey, I'm going to wear a really nice outfit. This is like I'm renting a
No.
tux.
I was gonna do with the floral delivery with my bright clothes anyway, because she was dressed in bright clothing, so it's like on brand for her business.
Princess, you've been to some balls. They don't often let the help stay. So there's something you guys may need to be thinking about because the people that are making the deliveries are generally not allowed to crash the party. Not saying it's impossible, but just saying it's something you guys need to think about how you're going to figure that out.
So
Does
there
the
are
shop have
spells.
any fur or feather from a beast
You're just looking for
I have
components
questions.
for.
for a spell?
Yeah, you guys
Or
can
a spell.
like spell components. You're able to get easily enough. I'm not going to worry about that.
Okay.
Oh. Delara looks at Alara and says, by the way, do you have any idea how that whole magic thing happened? I didn't really mean to do it.
I like you a little better now that you can do magic.
Well, that's petty.
Okay, so I guess we need to look for somewhere to buy clothes then.
Just above board, DM, would I need to buy clothes or would I be able to go to like
I think if you're going to try to enter the party as a people that are attending, looking the part is going to require you to acquire. Like I said, this is like this is not like, hey, I'm gonna wear for our equivalent. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna wear a nice suit. It's like this is black tie. I need a tux. Not a lot of people have a tux in their closet, right? So that's kind of the equivalent you're thinking about of like if you want to blend in, you're going to have to find which you are capable of doing in a city like Rivercrest. There are shops that sell these types of fineries.
okay. I was just above board, I kind of wanted to use the noble purple. Is there any way I could turn that into, like, have someone turn that into a
If
fine
you're trying to like
custom?
your kind of concept of like, and I'm not gonna make you guys like lose your AC for this. Like I think that's, I mean, it could be really tricky for combat balancing. So like I'll let you guys keep like your AC from your armor. You know, we'll just say like you're trying to find something that is able to disguise your armor pretty well, and for the sake of this, we'll just kind of ignore that that's something, you know, it could be there.
I kind of
I
have
mean,
an idea for that anyway. So
what if there was just a bunch of hatted disguises, had dressed yourself with whatever
I
and
mean,
kept your armor anyways.
is that a more common item?
Uncommon. I think it's a wondrous item that's uncommon. Finding four of them would be hard.
Most
You can certainly
expensive
do
is
that if you
the
guys want to.
golden suit of plate armor.
I would say, Princess, you're able to kind of find your way, and again, familiar with Rivercrest, you find your way to um, a shop called Lunar Looms Exquisites. And as you walk in the doors, you see a tiefling female with delicate decorations around her horns, lunar themed attire. And you walk into a boutique that specializes very explicitly in finely woven textiles. You see nothing here is like off the rack, right? There are examples of fine cloth, and as you walk in, she sees you and she says, "Welcome. Glad that you have come. How may I assist you?" "A center of attention, you and several others. What do you think that means for you? There's so many ways one could gather attention." Bold. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. As she kind of pulls out a sketch pad and begins to sketch kind of a vision of this, she says, interesting. A crest, a symbol upon it to draw attention. Yes, the black and the elegance. And she kind of shows you the picture of what is an extremely elegant um, evening gown for such an occasion. And she says, something along these lines. Excellent. It would be 800 gold pieces up front, another 400 upon delivery. That's what the 800 up front is for, darling. So you can just go ahead and mark off 1,200 gold because that's what it's going to cost you.
I look suspiciously at Princess.
Laura would like to walk up to her.
Yes.
I'm looking for something a little more bespoke, if you will, custom made. I'm sure you can help me with that.
All we do is custom made, darling. There's nothing here off the rack.
Perfect. I have some fine cloth, and I motion to Alara to come and bring me the purple.
Yes. But your assistant.
Yes, she is.
No.
She's more of a friend. We're just giving each other a hug.
Friend is a strong word.
Excellent. I do believe by the time it takes to do these things, so feel free to converse as long as you would like.
Oh, so it all gets charged to
So-
her?
Here.
Fantastic. So here is, if
So
you
can
look
we
deep inside my
cast
bag,
silence on
I can
Alara?
show you all of the things that I
I don't
have
have
in
that
here
spell.
before she has to pay you money.
Okay, so anyway,
Am I
my
your
family
assistant?
has a no, I told her you weren't. My family has a history of great warriors. I would like to pay homage to them. Is there a way you can combine this uh, fine material with a very ornate suit of medium armor?
So you're trying to use the slide leather to create an armor set. Is that
Not
right?
even just that, like actual like metal armor. Like I have an idea.
So I think you're only proficient with medium.
I am proficient with medium, yes.
Okay.
That's
So
all.
I mean,
I'm
you
wearing
could
light
be
right now. So.
yeah. So you could certainly get some medium armor. I would say what you're trying to do with like on if you're trying to go from a like light armor to medium armor, you're looking at um it would depend on what you're kind of trying to get. So light armor just gives you an armor rating equal to your dexterity modifier. Um, medium armor adds your dexterity modifier. You're kind of going up an armor class. So like, are you trying to use this as like? I'm just trying to figure out cost here, right? Is this something
Yeah,
specifically
yeah,
for the ball? So really, what you're trying to do is find yourself like going to medium armor as opposed to light armor. Is that right?
yes, basically,
Okay.
if that's feasible.
So let's see. Let me find this real fast. So if you want just kind of medium armor, you're gonna be looking at cost. Hold on, I'm sorry, I gotta pull out the player's handbook.
My bad.
You're totally good. I just want to make sure I don't get you before. If you're looking for, sorry. So what are you looking for? Like you're trying to get some, are you looking for like maybe like a scale mail or a chain shirt or like a hide armor? What are you trying to do for medium armor here?
Uh, I know chainmail will give me disadvantage on stealth checks, so I want to avoid that.
Yeah, chain shirt does not give you disadvantage on stealth checks.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would like
Scale
that.
mail does, and half plate does.
Okay, so I'll take the chain shirt.
So you can add on your character sheet, add just a chain shirt as your armor, which should bump your AC a little bit. And then it will be, I'm gonna say for this, like Princess Request will like the most expensive thing. For this, I'd say it's probably like 700 gold pieces to craft, something along those lines. You're kind of doing both things, where you're getting a fine
Mm,
thing plus like
Question.
what?
Uh, there's a. I'm just typing in chain shirt armor. Uh, could I do the armor of gleaming? The only magical property is it never gets dirty, so that's more of a magical.
Yeah, that's just yeah, I'm not gonna make you take care of your mail. So no, just add yourself a chain
Okay.
shirt as your armor, and then yes, mark off 700 gold.
Okay.
Anyone else want anything while you guys are here and preparing? Ah, yes. What can I help you with?
I would like a beautiful dress with
Where's a beautiful darling?
bright green, bright pink, bright purple, and leopard, please.
Eccentric, I think. And she kind of goes to her sketchbook and she kind of starts sketching something out, trying to take what would be clashing colors on their own and turn them into something that would be worthy of kind of the finery as she kind of pulls them together and looks at them and shows you a design for it. Is this what you're thinking?
A little bit more big on the neck area.
She adjusts the design with a large collar that will come up kind of to the back of your head.
And then a little bit longer in the back.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a train to the design that will scrape the floor.
I'm just really proud of you for knowing all these terms.
I know, right? I studied for hours.
That will do. Thank you.
So it's like probably 500 gold for this, especially since it's a rush order for the finery. And she looks at the one remaining member of the party and she says, you?
What dress would you like, John?
What's your pantomiming, but flipping pages.
And John's just over reading through his book, oblivious to everything.
John, you need an outfit.
I have my cloak, my cloak of fashion. So sorry, I was looking at that, but I assume I haven't read completely into it, so I'm reading up on cloak of fashion.
John has a cloak of fashion, and we're just now hearing about it.
Yeah,
it is my infusion. I can copy a magical item. There's cloak of many fashions, so I just have to see what it does.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, so you're good.
I'm good. Sweet.
I mean, if you want to be good, you're certainly fine to be okay.
Yeah,
You had
that is what I'm planning to do. Is cloak of many fashions. That is my dress.
It doesn't have the design on it.
That's John.
The dress.
I'm not even going to try and do a.
Where's my dress?
What is that? Hunger Games?
You said that, didn't you?
You ask for the nicest thing possible, so you have been charged appropriately. You can certainly do the Hunger Games flame dress thing.
Heath doesn't know what we're talking about.
I don't, but I don't care either.
Hunger Games!
Okay, you guys got to describe your dress, so I'm going to describe mine. Gosh darn it!
I would like you all to know I just heard the deepest, manliest voice saying how he was going to describe his dress. You all got to describe your dresses, and now I'm going to.
Your dresses. I want to describe my dress.
Slams fist on table.
I just hope Cassie can just hear one side of this conversation and is extremely
100%.
confused.
She has absolutely no idea what's going on. All she hears is me talking in a attempt at a feminine voice.
I feel like you could make your woman voice a little bit better than what you currently make it.
Well, I have to make it sustainable too. So it's more of just the connotation of my.
Anyway.
And we digress. But I do have.
We thought we were going to get in combat tonight. Jokes on all of us. We spent
looks like I spent a lot of time preparing for virtual tabletop combat, and what I really should have been preparing for was dress shopping.
Yeah, I knew we were going to spend this whole time running errands and shopping and talking, so I did not sweat it.
I thought that was the plan anyway, so.
John's like, I didn't sweat it a bit. I knew what we were doing.
Done anything with allies, so at least we have 7 more sessions before we actually get to the ball. Because at this base,
we haven't even done one day.
That's incredible.
Okay, yeah, we're doing this.
Do you see that dress? I need that dress.
In real life.
Thank you.
So, Lara walks up to the counter and she continues the conversation from earlier about the armor. She would like the bracers of the dress to resemble the weave on the handle of a rapier.
Okay.
And The boots would be a metallic heeled boot, and it would be dark purple with a sort of silvery metallic lining.
Easily done. Easily done.
That's my dress.
Anything else you guys like to do here? And then what else are we wanting to do? We do have a little bit more time.
Do we need to have uniforms for the flower service to get in at first, or do we just plan to walk in carrying flowers with our finest?
Can you repeat that? I was busy playing with the baby.
Do we need service uniforms to carry in our flowers, or do we plan on simply going in our finest?
And then take them off. I thought you weren't doing the service thing.
I mean, maybe there's something to that. If Princess and I both have experience in these sort of things, balls and whatnot, we might be able to.
I thought you were like 10 when your trauma happened.
Yeah.
17.
We just think
It
she's
happened
little because
fairly
she's short.
recently. I'm not. We've been over this, Alara.
Wait, I'm off. Noah's off. I thought you had like a long traumatic backstory of being raised up in the streets after your parents were brutally murdered.
No, this happened in the last 7 years.
How old is your person? Your fox thing?
She is 22.
She is 22.
Yes. It all happened when she was 17. The night of her
22,
17th birthday.
22, 7 years ago, and you were 17. Time is interesting in this realm.
It's not 7. I did it
Wibbly
wrong.
wobbly, timey
Math is
wimey.
hard.
Math is hard.
Sorry, I just wanted to pick on you. Anyway,
Yeah, you're right. That's what happens when someone who's terrible at math tries to come up with a timeline for something.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Do we want to pick up our service uniforms here, or do we want to find them at a simpler place?
I doubt they're gonna have one here.
Yeah, you guys can easily enough find some service uniforms. I would say on a rush order like that, you're talking like a gold a piece. Like they're not fancy. Like you guys went to a fancy shop to get the fancy dresses. Except for
The mark
We'll
off the
go
gold.
somewhere else for our uniforms then.
yes, you
I
did.
thought you weren't doing it.
Right.
Yeah. What else are we doing?
Okay, but I
So I don't know how late it's getting because I think placing orders may take a while.
evening. Yeah, you're definitely pushing evening at this point. You know, I would say you traveled back. We're there about midday. You guys have been moving around. Like it's approaching dusk. I mean, if you guys are looking for like magical items, I'm not sure there's any place that would be currently open.
I think the places I'm needing would not be functioning until tomorrow.
Are we going back to the mansion, or
I think our headquarters is Nazir, so I assume that's where we're going.
yes?
Easily enough, you guys begin to kind of make your way back to Nazir's. You guys return. Nazir is kind of waiting up expectantly. Does Oh, how did the conversation go?
It was
We're
intense.
florists now.
Interesting.
Laura says, I found out I can do this, and shifts through all of the flowers with prestidigitation.
Um, interesting. Have you secured your way a path into Ball?
We will be acting as florists and delivering, and plan on changing appearance upon entry.
Excellent. Excellent. What is the plan now? We have 5 days.
We don't know their plan of attack. We simply know that it'll be at the ball.
We do know that the guards have been paid off and will more than likely help with the assassination.
I don't remember knowing that.
Is that something that was said? It's not.
No, we weren't able to trust them because we don't know who is
Where
who, but it
I
doesn't
could
mean
have
that they're paid
sworn
off.
someone saying that. Okay, well, scratch that.
Dolores like, I plan to kill everybody. There are no innocents. Everybody dies.
What was that, Katie?
Oh, I was just saying, probably including Delora.
Hey, now.
And then Delora
Look,
needs
You're an
to save
all-star.
me.
Get your game on. Go play.
Nazir, as you hear you speaking of the game plan, not knowing the plan, he says, "That seems to be the first objective. Then can't counter activity that we don't know. And if we are truly a step ahead, we find a way to discover what the plot entails. Otherwise, we walk in blind." Because it is. Oh, go ahead, John.
Well, I was just going to ask if we needed to visit Pale and Creepy again to see if he might know anything. The dealer of secrets.
Ooh.
Nazir says, John, Noah with a real life keen mind. Nazir says, Incus may know. He's made a living of knowing things, and while he holds no real loyalty, he has always been a useful counterpart as long as you're willing to pay the price. Something you can
I'm
trust
out of secrets.
something you can trust about someone with no allegiances is that they have no allegiances. You know where they stand.
The question is, though, does anyone have a secret they're willing to trade for the plans?
I was not.
Last time I traded secrets, we got hunted by Slad.
I think we were being hunted regardless. They just found us a little faster, maybe.
Don't think so.
Wait, Princess is a new character. Princess has secrets.
Princess has secrets. Princess, share your secrets with him.
Valara also has secrets.
Well, considering the condition of that, I don't think anybody would want to have that be made aware. So I don't know if that's like, worth an assassination information. We know that because he addressed you
As Elizabeth.
big bad guy addressed you by your name.
I think when I was
Also,
Princess,
it's on
I
your
addressed-
character sheet.
Yeah, I introduced Princess by her actual name, not by her title, to try to keep that slightly underword.
Dun dun.
Whoa, hold.
These are secrets, Keith. You're not supposed to know them. They're supposed to be revealed in time.
We know each other.
Well, I mean, we have other sessions we can do. It doesn't all have to be done tonight.
Yeah. I figured like 3 sessions to wrap this arc up. There's gonna be one shopping episode, which is kind of this, and then you know,
Say
maybe
yes
some
to the
ally
draft.
gathering, and then some
That's the
showdowns.
episode
It's
title.
probably 4-ish. Four, I don't know. Depends on how long that last combat takes. Laura, were you gonna say something? Oh, okay.
Well, I'm needing to visit some places, but I don't think their hours are open at this time since the
Yeah,
magic shops are closed.
yeah, it's relatively late. You guys, I mean, I would say it's probably dusk. You guys are welcome to continue on or have a nice rest. Up to you.
I would like to have a rest just for the benefit of rolling to see if I can get any more work on that tome I have.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll it. You guys don't necessarily have to. If you guys want to go forward and address the last thing, you're welcome to. You guys just know what you want to do.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
So you guys just tell me what you
Last
want to
thing.
do.
Oh. Oh. Vizier, do you have a loot?
Delara, you'd be able to find a loot. Like
Oh, sweet. Okay.
over the course of the day today, yeah, you guys are able to find a loot.
I would like to play my loot.
Play your loot. What are you playing? Like the Zelda song?
Just like flamenco guitar, just and I make a performance.
You can make a performance check. Sure.
Okay. That's plus 15 with a loot. Yeah, my proficiency bonus is
Keith, you could have got in as a musician, a band for the event.
okay. Just to let you know, that was an 8 on the die, and it's a dirty 20. So plus 4. No, plus. Yeah, what is my proficiency bonus?
That's
I'm taking
that's
way too much
silly,
time.
silly
Sorry.
good, silly good.
Yeah. 24 with an 8 on the die.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
And as she does it, she looks like she's kind of meditating while she plays, and you see the lights die down in the room, and you see what does the spell say? Okay, you see a harmless shower of sparks and a puff of wind as the sparks kind of surround Delara as she plays. And then she stops playing and it fades away.
Well done. Anything else you guys would like to do prior to the end of the evening? John, I know you want to make a roll.
Get down. Stop.
There. Okay. It's
I
more
would
of a
also
role play
like
thing
to-
be done later.
Yeah, just before the rest, John would be fidgeting with his tome and making notes in his notebook and just a lot of writing and whatnot.
Okay. Make a roll on the investigation check for the tome. Have you opened it yet? I didn't mark that down. I'm so sorry.
No, I think you said I had 3 passing and 2 okay rolls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're getting closer. Go ahead and make a
Okay,
roll.
so
Investigation
roll.
check.
Investigation.
You could do it with advantage with your spectacles.
That's a nat 20 plus 8, so 28.
Boy,
Net 20 is gonna be 2 successes, which is pretty good. John, you have been fiddling with this thing for a while, and you have made a tremendous amount of progress this evening. In fact, as you move forward, you hear a very satisfying click. And it seems that the tome is able to fall open. It's 5 total successes. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, so the last part broke up. I heard 5 successes. I'm assuming the tome was open.
Yes, you were able to solve the puzzle
Sweet.
box and open the tome on 5 total successes.
Yeah.
Nat 20 is 2 successes.
Yeah. I do. I would slowly open the tome,
Okay.
hoping it's not booby trapped.
So you take. I'm kidding. You open it, and on the inside, on the first page, as you begin to look at it, you see a note that is addressed to you specifically. It reads, John. It says, information in this book is dangerous in the wrong hands. Or I'm sorry, it's dangerous in the right hands and deadly in the wrong hands. Keep it secret. I trust it only to you. Signed, Ramsey, your grandfather. And then below it, you see an assortment of letters and numbers that you first look at and say, man, that's really weird. But it makes a lot more sense when you turn the page and realize that what is inside the book is in code.
Very cool, very cool. Code. So I'm assuming it's just
You have the start of a cipher. You start to use it and you quickly realize that it's not entirely complete. It seems that your grandfather knew this to you and trusted that you would, with a little bit of help, be able to figure it out. But it's still going to require you to do a little bit of work. So,
all right. If I've never played used to play ciphers out of the newspaper, lots of fun. So this is a little bit of flashback and exciting. Okay.
no, we're gonna continue. Yeah, I did not make a giant cipher. That would be super cool if I did. I might.
That would be some dedication.
Yeah, there's a few more rolls to be made. You were able to open the book, but now it is continuing to solve the puzzle. And as you continue to solve the cipher, we will I'll give you some information that begins to come out.
John's
Well,
dancing.
that sounds excited. No, I'm getting on to Ember, and she throws her arms, so I throw my arms, and it's been an interesting evening. Yep.
So
Anything else
is
you'd like
this
to do?
just an honest question? Like, are we getting close to the end of the session, or
Yeah, I mean 8 o'clock has always been our wrap time. That's where I'm thinking about wrapping. So we'll kind of come to a pretty natural story beat and go from there.
do we have time for a like conversation or like?
Sure. We got time. What do you want to talk? What do you
This
want to do?
whole game's been a conversation.
Yeah, this whole game's been
Oh.
basically a conversation.
Where'd that go? Am I
Well,
still
happened?
on here?
We had a lot of combat in several sessions,
Okay.
so every now and then you get a shopping episode.
Dressmaking, whatnot. So, Delar,
Go
Hey,
ahead.
Ashley, I need your help.
okay. So, I assume we're all kind of just sitting around the fire in the
Oh, I found it.
room. So Dolores says, as you all know, I've kept many secrets in my time with you all. Some of which have come out, some of which have not. And you can tell that she's kind of fumbling for the words, like she doesn't exactly know how to say this. And she says, I trust you all now with this knowledge. And I'm sure you might have wondered why I've come back so many times. What I think is worth that.
Because I brought you back.
It was my choice to come back. I could have remained in peace. But had I
We had
remained,
to deal with a little fuzzball we know.
kind of, well, and she stammers around kind of for some words, and she says, there is certain knowledge that I possess that if I died, it would die with me, and they would be lost to time. And she kind of looks down at her lap and says, my biggest mistake that I've made was giving up my children.
You had children?
Twins.
Twins.
Boy,
With
one-
who?
He kind of pulls the medallion that Coda gave her.
Ola had kids?
He does not know.
He always wanted kids.
Well, he never
You
told
kept
me
it
that.
from him?
I didn't keep it from him. I was not aware at the moment I left.
You didn't know they were Codas?
On that, we will call it an evening. On that revelation.
I'm being called also.
We'll do the next game in the chat.